All right, so we're diving into the power of the mind today.
Yeah, really digging deep.
Not just like positive thinking, though,
Right.
but how our minds actually shape our reality.
Exactly. And we'll be using your sources to guide us.
Perfect.
That's fascinating stuff, really.
So you often hear people talking about this mind-body connection.
Yeah.
But what does that really mean?
Well, it goes way beyond just a catchy phrase.
Okay.
It's about the tangible ways that our mental states
Okay.
actually impact our physical well-being.
Okay, so what's the science behind that? Because it's not like just thinking about something can actually, like, I don't know, change our physical bodies.
Right. But it is more connected than you might think. Think about, like, the experience of stress. It doesn't just stay in your thoughts, right?
No, for sure.
Your heart races. Maybe you get a tension headache.
Oh, tell me about it.
Even digestive issues.
Yeah.
That's your nervous system responding to your mental state.
So my mind is basically sending out like a stress signal, and then my body's just like taking it and running with it.
Exactly.
Straight to a tension headache.
Exactly. And on the flip side, when we experience things like joy, gratitude, love,
Okay.
our brain releases, those feel-good chemicals.
Like what?
Endorphins, dopamine, things like that.
Okay.
It's not just about, feeling good mentally.
Right.
It's about actual physiological changes that are happening within us.
Interesting. So while I can't just think myself into being an Olympic athlete,
Right.
I can actually influence my body with my mind.
You're getting it. And that's where practices like, mindfulness and meditation come in.
Okay.
They're not just about relaxation, although that's definitely a nice bonus.
For sure.
They're about training your mind. And studies actually show that they can lead to structural changes in the brain.
Wait, for real? Like rewiring our brains just by like paying attention to the present moment?
Yeah.
That sounds almost too good to be true.
It might sound surprising,
Yeah.
but there's real evidence behind it.
Okay.
Like one study actually found that regular meditation increases gray matter
Okay.
in areas of the brain related to things like memory, learning, even compassion.
So you're essentially like building a more powerful brain just by meditating?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a pretty compelling reason to give it a try.
Right.
So what about visualization? I know some people swear by it.
Yeah.
I've always been a little skeptical. Isn't that just like daydreaming?
It is kind of. It's daydreaming with a purpose.
Okay.
It's about creating this clear mental picture of yourself achieving a goal.
Right.
And the more vivid you can make it,
Okay.
the more powerful it becomes.
Okay. So you're not just like seeing it in your mind's eye, but you're like really experiencing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like engaging all of your senses.
Precisely.
Okay.
The more you can like immerse yourself in that visualization, what you see, what you hear, what you feel,
Yeah.
the more you're priming your brain to actually make it a reality.
So it's like you're giving your brain a sneak peek
Yeah,
of what success would look like.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
feel like Olympic athletes, they use this all the time.
All the time.
To mentally rehearse their,
Their winning performances.
yeah, their winning performances.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about affirmations?
Okay.
Because those always seemed a little too,
Yeah.
like too good to be true.
A little woo-woo. Right.
Yeah, a little woo-woo.
They get a bit of a bad rap.
Yeah.
But there's actually, there's science behind it. Think of it this way.
Yeah.
Your mind kind of believes what you tell it, right?
Right.
Especially when you're telling it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So instead of like focusing on what you don't want or what you can't do,
Okay.
affirmations are about consciously shifting that script
Okay.
to empower yourself.
Well-
So you're replacing those negative thought patterns with like positive, empowering statements,
Exactly.
even if they feel a little awkward at first.
Even if they feel awkward, yeah.
Like you're trying to convince yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's like retraining your inner voice
Okay.
to be more of a cheerleader than a critic.
I like that.
And the more consistent you are, the more those affirmations will start to like really take root
Okay.
in your subconscious mind.
So your sources also talk about journaling
Yeah.
and practicing gratitude as being
Gratitude.
really powerful tools
Yeah.
for, tapping into the power of the mind.
For sure.
Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, journaling can be so powerful.
Okay.
It's like having a direct line to your subconscious. When you're putting your thoughts and your feelings down on paper,
Yeah.
you can gain so much clarity from that.
Okay.
And you process your emotions more effectively.
Mm-hmm.
You can even start to identify any like limiting beliefs that might be holding you back.
It's like you're hitting the pause button
Yeah.
on your thoughts, and you're really taking the time to examine them.
Exactly.
Okay.
And gratitude practices go so well with that
Okay.
because by actively, focusing on the good things in our lives, no matter how small they are,
Yeah.
we shift our perspective.
Right.
And we start to notice more and more things to be grateful for.
So it's like you're rewiring your brain to focus on abundance
Exactly.
rather than what's missing.
Exactly.
Which I think it's so easy to fall into that trap
It's so easy.
of like focusing on what's missing and what's wrong.
Yeah, totally.
So do you have any like practical tips for people who want to like incorporate these practices into their daily lives?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is to start small.
Okay.
And be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Even just 5 minutes of journaling a day.
Right.
Or just like listing 3 things that you're grateful for every day.
Yeah.
It can really make a difference.
Small, consistent steps.
Yeah.
So much of what we've been talking about just seems to be about creating positive change within ourselves.
Totally.
But you were saying earlier that this can have like ripple effects, right?
Absolutely.
So like cultivating a more mindful and empowered mindset can actually impact the world around us.
It can, yeah.
So it's like our own personal growth can actually create positive change outside of ourselves.
Exactly. It's like,
That's kind of a cool thought.
yeah, it's not just about us.
Yeah.
It's about, the energy that we put out into the world.
Okay, so how does that actually work in a practical sense?
Well, let's take something like compassion.
Yeah. Okay.
When we practice compassion, it naturally extends outward,
Okay.
right? It influences how we interact with other people,
Yeah.
how we approach challenges,
Right.
even how we respond to negativity.
So it's like we become these like walking, talking beacons of positivity
In a way, yeah.
just by cultivating those qualities within ourselves.
And it doesn't have to be, some grand gesture.
Yeah.
It's the small, everyday acts of kindness, understanding, empathy.
Right.
Those are the things that create the ripple effect,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that make the world a slightly brighter place.
It's kind of nice to think that, even though the world can feel kind of overwhelming sometimes,
For sure.
we actually do have the power to make a difference.
Absolutely.
Just by, shifting our own mindsets.
You got it.
This has been incredible.
It's been fun.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Good. Well,
And like I have all these new tools now
Yeah.
to like really kind of unlock the power of my mind.
absolutely. And that's what it's all about, right?
That is what it's all about. Any final thoughts?
Just, be patient with yourself,
Okay.
celebrate your progress,
Mm-hmm.
and never underestimate the incredible potential that you have
It's a good one.
within you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us
Yeah, thanks for having me.
on this deep dive into the power of the mind.
Of course.
And to everyone listening, we'll see you next time.